What's going on, everybody? It's the Crypto Wonder from the Crypto Wonder Podcast. I hope you're doing well. Me, I'm blessed and highly favored. Let's get right into it. Oh, I just witnessed something that caught my attention. So, children, man child. This episode is going to be about men who have a hard time living as adults, right? And we're not just talking about any type of adult. We're talking about men who display feminine, extremely feminine characteristics. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You know, you need both to coexist. You know, there are tendencies within men that are softer at times, and other times where the man is much more dominant, assertive, aggressive. But for the intents and purposes of this episode, we're going to identify the effeminate frailties that that these so-called opinionated, they're supposed to be masculine men display in general, and in crypto. Of course, it always has to go back to crypto. Why? Because I'm the Crypto Wonder and I'm blessed and highly favored. And you know what? I wish that for you too, right? Yo, check this out, man. Check this out. So, you know, it's hard for people to accept truth. Like when you look in the mirror and you find out that you might have a chipped tooth, you might have this huge bump on your grill that's more than just a pimple. Perhaps it's something sebaceous, and you get so used to it, you ignore it, right? Some men, they look at it, and it's an issue. Oh no, they're extremely vain. You know, they have to address the carbuncle on whatever parts of their bodies or whatever type of a condition that's regularly oozing from their pores. Because if those things are not addressed, it could become crazy. And they just are so wrapped up in themselves, right? And become emotional, but hide it and said, don't mistake my passion for emotion. Don't mistake my passion. See, people try to hide and act as if they're passionate, right? There's something about whatever they're going through that means so much to them. And this is why they get so quote unquote riled up and they start to act out in such a dramatic way, is because they're passionate. No, they're emotional. They're displaying effeminate characteristics. Okay? I did a video years ago, challenging men, selfish, well, no, challenging narcissistic men who shirk their responsibilities in taking care of their children by not paying child support. by avoiding child support. Narcissistic men who avoid supporting their children and avoiding paying child support. And all of the men in that video, all of them were like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a simp. you must have grown up in a single parent household, and your mother was the parent who raised you, because look at how you're talking. And all, you have to be comfortable in who you are. Like, I'm comfortable in who I am, and it's all false. I grew up with both parents, and my father was dominant. And that's how I learned how to be a provider. That's how I learned to be an organized disciplinarian. That's how I learned how to structure my life, how to plan, how to really protect, like, properly. Protect what's mine. Like, you lay fame, lay your claim, you stake your flag as a man. You let your gonads hang as a man, right? You focus. You know what it is to feel like everything is on your shoulders and you have to perform accordingly, or else not only is everything going to fall apart, but more often than not, because everything is on your shoulders and you emit real leadership, people end up following you. People end up surrounding you. People smell your rulership, your ability to rule in your life, no matter what socioeconomic status that is. You don't cry, you don't whimper, you don't complain. You deliver, you're focused, you're dedicated, you're disciplined. Something that man children lack. Man children are quick to shame another person. A man child, again, is also quick to complain, quick to cry, quick to resort to making decisions from their feelings. This is what they do. And then when things fall apart, it's, oh, now they're going to do what they were taught to do. Perhaps claim victimhood, right? Woe is me, help me, I'm always the victim. Why is that? Why is that? Right? Why do you think man children resort to cursing when when they're faced with a disagreement? Instead of ironing issues out, they'll curse you out and behave in a way where they're not able to really articulate their feelings. So it's time to become a primate. And drag them knuckles, right? Drag those knuckles to the on the ground. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. There can only be. See, the problem. Instead of learning, like understanding, when people call themselves the master, or they call themselves like some type of guru, or they don themselves with these titles, these lofty titles, and to boost their shattered self-esteem and to allow them to create some type of purpose for themselves, it's because they're lacking an internal strength. You know what I mean by that? I'm going to tell you. Who dons a person a true master? When a person becomes a master, they're unaware that they're a master. You know who dons them the master? Who gives them the name of being a master? I'll let you figure it out. When a person appears to be a teacher, do you think the teacher acknowledges a true teacher? Do you think they acknowledge themselves as being a teacher? No. Who gives them that title? Who gives them the title? But you got people who call themselves senseis. The people give you the title. It's the people that give you the title. Why? Because a strong man, a strong man knows how to offer and give respect to earn respect. A strong man knows what it means to be humble, know what humility truly means. And it's not about shaming one another or being shamed. No, it's about understanding what they bring to the world, what they can bring, what they can contribute, because of their own internal capabilities and prowess, and how it's truly noticeable without them even speaking. So yeah, they're going to practice humility, certain level of discipline, obligation, and comprehension. The list goes on. Not cower, not cry, not complain repeatedly and seek support repeatedly from other men who do the same thing. As a collective, women do that. Now, you know, some men will disagree. But think about what caliber of a man is disagreeing. It's a man child who's disagreeing with what I have to say. Men who consistently complain, who cry, who cower, who are not assertive, who lack confidence. who are afraid of commitment, consistency, who are afraid to display discipline, order, and who seek nurturing and support from other similar males behave like females. This is what females do. Females support one another. They have women's groups. I mean, it's what it is. It is what it is. And it's no different in crypto. It's no different in life. But it's definitely no different in crypto. You find man children all throughout the space. Oh, it's what it is. But then they'll hide. They'll hide or try to present some type of smoke screen, an illusion, and truly believe that you will not be able to pierce through their veil and really see them for who they are. Even the dog agrees. Even the dog agrees. I tell you. I tell you. And what makes it even more interesting with man children, right? Men who are supposed to be adults but behave like children. Easily get triggered. Why? Why? Easily get triggered. When you're the head of your own life, the universe responds to you, and it's up to you if you're willing to accept the opportunities that the universe offers you. If you have a bad head, well, you will have an extraordinarily more difficult time to experience the greater things in life, because your consciousness, your level of comprehension and application in life is moving from a bad perspective. And what I mean by that, you could be a criminal. You can be someone who's just, vile, disgusting, one of the individuals that, are deemed menaces to society and the world and humanity all around. You have bad heads and are completely incorrigible, and you need to be sequestered somewhere on a penal compound forever. It is what it is. People like that exist. But when you don't, and you have the opportunity to really make some improvements and grow and growth and develop, right? So that you could be able to unlock your inner potential, the powers that you were born with, you were donned with, where you don't have to don yourself because it was already offered to you from birth. Now it has to be cultivated. Once you're able to do that with the right leadership, with the right guidance, then you'll understand what it is to literally roll with the punches, to literally face life head on and grab the proverbial bull by the horns when life throws all types of challenges, trials, tribulations, and problems towards you, because you're grounded inside and out, physically, mentally, spiritually. You're sound. You're grounded. You don't need to talk. Talk less. Act more. You don't need to really complain and cry, right? Because it's time to execute. It's time to perform. It's time to resolve and not be man children. What does that instill? Maturation instills self-confidence, being assertive. Those types of signals are given out, and people can see. People can see, oh, wait a minute. You walk into a place, into an environment, and you literally shine without uttering one word. Then when you're able to harness that power and display it in whatever skill or trait or characteristic or talent that you have, that only complements who you already are. Because the energy that you already hold is flowing through you through one type of skill, trait, or whatever it is that you have. And it was offered to you. We have these capabilities for a reason, not to squander it. That's why we shouldn't just waste our time on unnecessary activities and behaving like man children, crying, whining all the time, like some of these guys do in crypto. The saying that's often said over here in the States is, if you build it, they'll come. Well, in order to be a builder, you have to know that you're worth building something. But if you're broken and you can't even build your own life or your own being, how can anything else come but destruction? Because you're destroying yourself. You're constantly crying, you're constantly complaining, you're constantly whining. What type of energy you think is going to come back? Make a decision. Make a decision to resolve. Make a decision to change whatever needs to be improved. And more often than not, after a while, it's not about talking about it. It's about doing. But when man children look for emotional support from other men who behave similar, like females do, you receive what females get. The gossiping, the chatty patty, wondering what the next person is doing instead of focusing on what you have to do, comparing your bra size to the next one. This is the first episode of the Man Child series. Download that. Absorb that. Right? Absorb that. For all these men who have something to say, for all these so-called men who's supposed to be men in appearance, but behave like man children, for all of you out there, you don't even have to take my word for it. But trust and believe. Trust and believe. Like minds think alike. And you have to really look at what's going on in your circle, if you have a circle. Some of you are too broken. Again, you're fractured. You don't even know what it is to understand who you are and appreciate you in truth. However you're designed to be, you have a hard time accepting yourselves. So you want to project your problems, your inadequacies onto others and complain about everything at all times and act as if you can be some type of hero to your fellow female males. Understand that there's a different way. There's a different way. There's a different way. Catch up.